It was a freezing night when Daniel, a 35-year-old single dad, saw the young woman sitting on the curb outside the grocery store. Her backpack was soaked, her shoes torn, and her eyes red from crying. He had just picked up his 7-year-old daughter Mia from school, and as they walked past, Mia tugged on his sleeve. "Daddy, she looks cold." Daniel stopped. The girl couldn't have been more than 20. She sat shivering beside a half-eaten sandwich and a handwritten sign. "Room wanted, can pay later." He hesitated. He barely made ends meet fixing old cars at the town garage. But when the girl looked up, tears streaking down her face, he felt something tug deep inside. "You all right, miss?" he asked. She nodded quickly, embarrassed. "I'm fine, just trying to figure things out." Mia whispered, "Daddy, she can stay with us." The girl smiled faintly. "That's very sweet, honey, but I don't want to cause trouble." Daniel sighed. "It's not much, but we've got a spare couch. You can crash for the night, just until you figure things out." Her eyes widened. "You mean it?" He nodded. "Yeah, I mean it." Her name was Emily. She was polite, quiet, and clearly not used to living rough. She said she was in college, studying architecture, but had been kicked out of her dorm after a financial mix-up. She tried to call her father, but he hadn't answered. Daniel made her hot soup, and Mia proudly handed her one of her old blankets. That night, Emily cried silently on the couch, staring at a photo of a man on her phone, her father. He wasn't just any man. He was Robert Hayes, a powerful real estate tycoon and one of the wealthiest men in the state. But Daniel didn't know that. Days turned into weeks. Emily insisted on helping around the house, cooking, cleaning, helping Mia with homework. She even began helping Daniel at the garage, surprising him with her knowledge of design and structure. One afternoon, she sketched a better layout for the cluttered workspace on a piece of cardboard. When Daniel followed her plan, business picked up. Customers liked the new system. "You've got a real head on your shoulders," he said, smiling. Emily laughed softly. "My dad used to say that, but I don't think he believed it anymore." Daniel noticed the sadness in her tone but didn't pry. Everyone had their ghosts. As weeks passed, Emily became part of their little family. Mia adored her, called her Emmy. They baked cookies, watched old Christmas movies, and even painted the garage walls together. For the first time since his wife died, Daniel felt his home filled with laughter again. One evening, as snow fell outside, Emily stood by the window. "You didn't have to take me in, you know," she said quietly. Daniel looked up from his chair. "Maybe not, but I've been where you are, lost, broke, alone." She smiled, tears in her eyes. "You're a good man, Daniel." He chuckled. "Good men are just men who remember what it's like to have nothing." But one morning, everything changed. A black SUV pulled up in front of the small house. Two men in suits stepped out, followed by an older man with silver hair and stern eyes, Robert Hayes. Emily froze when she saw him. "Dad." Daniel blinked in shock. "Wait, that's your father." Her father's voice thundered through the cold air. "What on earth are you doing here, Emily? We've been looking for you for weeks." She stammered, I needed time, Dad. You wouldn't listen. You kept telling me to come home and take over the company, but I wanted to finish college first." He looked around the modest house, his expression a mix of anger and disbelief. "And this is where you chose to stay? With what? A mechanic?" Daniel stood silently, his jaw tight. "Sir, your daughter needed help, that's all." Robert's eyes narrowed. "I'll see that you're compensated." Emily stepped between them. "No, don't you dare. He's not like the people you buy off, Dad. He helped me when you wouldn't." The old man paused, her words cutting deep. "I'll go pack my things," Emily said quietly, turning away. But that night, Robert couldn't sleep. Something about the man's quiet dignity, the warmth in that small house, it haunted him. He built empires, bought companies, but he hadn't built a home. The next morning he returned without his guards. He found Daniel fixing an old truck out front. "Mr. Hayes," Daniel said, standing. Robert hesitated. "You looked after my daughter when she had nothing. I owe you more than I can ever repay." Daniel wiped his hands on a rag. "I didn't do it for payment, sir. She's a good kid. Reminds me of what matters." Robert looked down. "I forgot what that feels like." At that moment, Emily stepped out, smiling softly at both men. Her father turned to her. "Emily, if you still want to finish college, you have my blessing, but only if I can visit once in a while." She hugged him tightly. "Deal." Then she looked at Daniel. "And you're not getting rid of me that easily." He smiled, trying to hide the emotion in his eyes. "Wouldn't dream of it." Months later, Daniel's small garage had a new look, clean, modern, redesigned by Hayes' Architecture Students Program, funded quietly by Robert Hayes himself. And every Friday night, the three of them, Daniel, Emily, and Mia, sat around the same small table, eating spaghetti and laughing until their stomachs hurt. What began as an act of kindness had become something bigger, something real. Because sometimes the richest hearts belong to those who have lost the most and love the hardest. Red.